Hey, Hershey Free, this is George Davis, and I'm with Dave Shepard, who is one of our elders. And we wanted to give you an update on a schedule change that's coming in our Sunday morning schedule. Now, you may remember last year as we were slowly working our way through COVID. During the fall, we reinstituted our 8 a.m. service on a trial basis with the expectation that we would evaluate that service after 6 months. And as part of that evaluation, we formed a task force, and Dave, you had the privilege of chairing that task force. And we've now come to the end of that trial period, and we've gone through the evaluation process. And based on the input from this task force, as well as input from our staff, the decision has been made to bring that 8 a.m. service to a close. And the last 8 a.m. service will be held on Sunday, June 19th. Now, Dave, just help us explain kind of how and why that decision was made.
Yeah, when we started the service, you and I met and we talked about ways or the criteria we ought to use in evaluating the service.
Right.
And so we use things like attendance and were people involved in other aspects of the church, and also the intergenerational aspect,
Right.
where other people, younger people coming to that service. As we evaluated it, very high grades. I mean, the people in that service were involved in the ministries of the church. The attendance was steady,
Right.
but the biggest lack was the intergenerational aspect. I mean, there just wasn't an intergenerational either leadership or involvement in that service. And so with that, we made the recommendation, because of our mission of focusing on young families and young people, we made the recommendation to the board that we cease having this 8 a.m. service.
Well, I want to thank you for your work in that. And as we give you this announcement, I also want to particularly speak to two groups of people. First of all, let me just speak to those of you who have been a part of the 8 a.m. service. And I want to acknowledge up front, I know this is disappointing news to hear. And that's the primary reason this wasn't an easy decision to make. And with that in mind, our elder team is going to be reaching out to many of you and just asking you how we can help you make that transition well. Again, I realize this is a change, and it may feel like for you a hard change, but nonetheless, please understand there really is value in bringing multiple generations together when we worship, and we need you in this. You have a role to play in helping us do this well. And even as I speak to those in the 8 a.m. service, let me now speak to those of you who regularly attend either the 9 a.m. service or the 10:30 service. And what I want to say to you is just a reminder of something we've seen in our current sermon series as we've been talking about the resurrection. Remember, one of the marks of a community shaped by the resurrection is this: it's a community that practices biblical hospitality. And a simple way we can do that involves how we gather on Sunday mornings. It's being willing to talk to other people, being willing to introduce yourself to someone you don't know. It's being willing to be a welcoming person on Sunday mornings. And as we do that over time, our services really can become a place where strangers become friends. And particularly now, as we make this change, we need to do this well. So again, that's the update that we wanted to give you with this change coming up. And it's really my prayer as your pastor that as we go through this change, we can truly go through it together as one church family. Thank you.